How's it going, everybody? Rybrad here today, and we are back with our Nashville Predators franchise mode. And I did ask you guys some questions. I appreciate your guys' feedback in the last video. The main topic of discussion was, do we keep James Neal? As I'll go ahead and check out the lines here, show you guys. James Neal is on that second line, and Fiala is upset because he's not playing on that second line, which is kind of unfortunate because I'd like to really see him grow into that top six forward I build him up to be. But I guess 85, 86 is what a top six forward really is. But I've decided to go ahead and keep James Neal for the season. That is my plan. I don't want to trade him at the deadline either. If I am going to trade him, it is going to be at the draft so we can offer some more people some more money. Because like I said to you guys, we got a lot of re-signing to do this season. I probably can get a prospect and maybe a second-round pick out of James Neal, but there aren't a ton of teams that are going to want him. I think he's 34, but he still produces. You guys did not like the Perron contract, but it's only for 2 years, boys. $3 million for 2 years for a guy who puts up 45-plus points and plays great penalty-killing minutes for us. I'm certainly okay with that. With that price tag for somebody like that. Besides, we have the money. We've got about like $9 million in cap space, but we do have some people to sign, which is why I think James Neal is the expendable one and not Perron, because Neal is at 4.375, I want to say, over the next 3 years, where Perron is only at $3 million for the next 2 years, so I still think that's a better deal. And James Neal is more valuable anyway, so if there's somebody I'm going to move, it's going to be James Neal. But there we go, boys. You know how this season works. We are trying to get back to the playoffs and trying to go back to the Stanley Cup Finals. We were ousted last season in round number 2 by our Central Division rivals, the Winnipeg Jets, and they went on to represent the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Final, so I'm not too upset about that, but let's see if we can get ourselves back there, boys. There's not a lot of discussion to do. Let's go ahead and get into the sim, and I will talk to you guys at the end of November. Alright, boys, so we are at the end of November, beginning of December, and so far we've had a really good start to the season. Now, we did slow down towards the end of November here just because we did have some injuries. Roman Josi was hurt for about a week. Excuse me. But the way we started the season was really promising. We went 7-3, basically a 2-for-1 ratio. And yeah, I'm really liking the way the team's performing, so let's go ahead and check out where we are in the standings. Look at that. We are tied with the Chicago Blackhawks for first, although I do believe they played less games than us. And look at that, boys. Artemi Panarin is leading the team with points. He's basically a point per game, and so is Austin Matthews. Panarin's putting the goals in. Forsberg's still having a great season. Subban is also having a great season. He may be a minus player, but it is what it is. I guess he's the only minus player up at the top there, so maybe Subban's just getting shafted on when the goals are coming in, but who knows. And then we got Johansen here with 20 points. Arvidsson. Smith isn't playing on the second line. That is Fiala, and Fiala did have a good start to the season. He's back up to his 85 overall form, which is really nice to see. He's not playing too well this season, so he's getting a little bit pissed, but hopefully we can get him back right and going in the right direction. As far as other points are concerned, we've got Josh Jacobs and Stuart Percy. Stuart Percy came up for the 4 games that Roman Josi missed. As you can see here, Josi only has played 21 out of 25. But so far, the team is looking good. The stats are looking good as well. We've already got Gibson to get a shutout, which is awesome. He's got a 924 save percentage. Our backup, Vejmelka's got 901. I'm okay with that. And then a 214 and a 326. So Vejmelka seems to let in a lot of goals, but seems to get a lot of shots against as well, because he's still got a 900 save percentage. But God, Gibson is playing really, really well this season, so that is really good to see. Him being such tremendous form for us. Oh, I also wanted to touch on the point that you guys did say something about trading away Comtois and Morand. I mean, they're still 21, 22, and they're almost in the 80 overall, so they could probably make the jump. I mean, if they don't make the jump this upcoming offseason, then I might look to trade them, but they're still young guys. I mean, they might just flourish and ultimately become 85, 86s, and I'd be totally happy with that. But we are going to go ahead and get up to the All-Star break here, which is the end of January. And then after that, we'll get up to the trade deadline, and then I'll bring you guys in for the end of the video. But let's go ahead and get up to the All-Star game, boys. I will see you when we get there. So here we are at the All-Star break, boys, and we are having a tremendous season yet again. This team has been a perennial top of the league team. I don't even know what to say because, I mean, again, we are 32-16-4. That's basically every 2 games we win. We only lose 1, which is actually just it's just fantastic. I mean, look at this. We went on a big 4-game winning streak after losing 1, and then we won 4 in a row here after losing 3 in a row there. So, I mean, it's been a tremendous, December wasn't as great as it could have been, but certainly January towards the All-Star break has been fantastic for us. So let's go ahead and check out where we are in the standings. And then oh my God, we are leading the Chicago Blackhawks now by 13 points for the Central Division. Oh my God, we are starting to run away with this division, boys. I don't want to get too cocky, though. We still got a lot of time to go. And my God, look at Austin Matthews. How many games have we played? What is that? We played 52, and he's got, what, 55 points? He's got 55 points in 52 games. He is the real deal, boys. Looking like that trade, those 2 first-round picks, is worth it for a guy like Austin Matthews. Then Philip Forsberg also has 50 points. He's got 23 goals already, just about halfway through the season. Johansen has been getting hurt a couple times, so that's why he's only down there at 33. But PK Subban, I did move him down, believe it or not, to the second defensive pairing. Just because he was a big minus. He is now playing with Ryan Ellis, and those two boys have turned his plus-minus right around, so that's really awesome to see that. Spacek is a minus. I did have to call some players up. Comtois, I did call him up. So far, he hasn't done anything. I'm hoping to see if he can grow. I called him up just because I wanted to change up that bottom line just a little bit and see what we can get done here. But yeah, so far the team is looking very, very good. One person that I'm really impressed with is John Gibson. I did check out the stats. He's got 4 shutouts already, a .924 save percentage. Vejmelka certainly turning his season around with a limited time, .226 and a .286. So not the greatest, but John Gibson is having another great season for us, boys. He is locked in as an elite goaltender for us, and we are towards the top of the Central Division. I don't know where we are in the league, but let's go ahead and simulate up to that trade deadline. I don't imagine me making any moves. I don't want to screw anything up with the team right now. But I'm going to give Comtois a full month here, the month of February, and I'm going to see how he does. Hopefully he takes off and has a great performance, but we'll have to find out. We'll have to see that. So without further ado, boys, I'm going to go ahead and simulate right up to the trade deadline. Alright, so here we are, guys, at the trade deadline. A decent month, up and down. We are 39, 20, and 5, so we're pretty much 2 for 1 still, just a little bit under, but hopefully in that next game we play, we will be able to go for that 2 for 1, and we are now 13. We're still 13. We are still 13 points above the Chicago Blackhawks, and Austin Matthews is still killing it for us, boys. Oh my God. Alright, now he's not point per game anymore, but him and Forsberg seem to be a dynamic duo, and Artemi Panarin is certainly up there as well. PK Subban is loving his time on that second pairing. I might have found something here, boys, putting Subban on that second pairing. Let's just go ahead and check out our forwards. Arvidsson, Johansen, and Fiala seems to be a pretty good line. Then Smith, Neal, and Spacek. Spacek is okay. Comtois got 2 points in 15 games, so he's doing absolutely nothing, but he's doing more than Colton Sissons is, so I'm not going to be too upset about it. He's only playing that fourth line ice time anyway, so I don't expect a ton from him. I just wanted to get him some NHL experience, see if he grows at all. But it's looking like a lost cause. I kind of feel bad because those guys are 2 guys that could be something special, but they're really not panning out. And then look at our defensemen, boys. Certainly great all across the board. And goaltending wise, 6 shutouts now for Gibson. He's got .926 save percentage still and a .220 goal against average. So you guys know what happens now. We go ahead and real-time sim the rest of the season, and we're going to see how we finish out in these last 18 games. Now, these last 18 games are mostly for seeding. We are pretty much towards the top of the league, but I would like to cement ourselves as a top 3 team yet again, a top team in the West, at least top team in our division, so we can play. All right, Matthias Ekholm injured his hamstring, boys. So I do need to go ahead and call up a defender. I don't have any defenders on the roster right now. I do have some extra forwards up here. I'm actually scratching people, believe it or not. Something I don't do very often, which is why changing lines does take so long for me. But let's go ahead and call up. Oh, Stuart Percy is not happy. All right, so let's call up Murphy then. If Trevor Murphy is going to be the happy one, I'll call him up for sure. All right. So let's go ahead and hit the best lines, because that's pretty much all I've been doing. I mean, the computer's been setting these lines. Colton Sissons for Salamaki. Actually, I have been subbing out Salamaki for Spacek, who's now an 84, and Comtois, because I want Comtois to get a lot of NHL experience and see if he can perform for us. Although I don't know if I'll keep him in for the playoffs, boys. You guys will have to let me know that one. Just because he's not really performing. He's not lighting the world on fire, but he is a 4th liner anyway, so it's not like he's, killing us. Wow, Evan Stewart, boys. We drafted him in the first round of 2020, our 30th pick overall, and this kid has already surpassed Morand, Kevin Stenlin, and Comtois. This kid is absolutely killing it. I'm doing something right with him. He's only a medium top 9 forward, but hell, he's 20, and he's already a 79. He's basically an 80 overall at 20 years of age, so he is doing quite well. We're just going to go ahead and let the computer scout from here on out now, boys. There's a couple wins. Matthias Ekholm is back. Let me go ahead and edit those lines. I really hope we don't have too many more injuries because I really don't want to have to deal with this anymore. And I don't know why they keep putting Colton Sissons and Salomaki in, just because I think Spacek and Comtois, I mean, I can understand why they take Comtois out, but I don't know why they take Spacek out. It's whatever. All right, so let me go ahead and just put Comtois in there. It's fine. Hopefully you guys aren't hating me too much now. I tried to cut out all the boring parts of simulating all 82 games, just so you guys get to see this exciting action towards the end. We are 42-21-5, which is a 2-for-1, just like I wanted. Maybe if we... Maybe we can go 2-for-1 as far as total when we lose to the Anaheim Ducks. That's all right, though. Now we got to go... Yes, a Central Division win against the Dallas Stars, and then same 3-2 win against the Washington Capitals, another good team, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who are actually a very good team. They actually do have some foundation. Stuart Percy got injured, but that's okay. That's Milwaukee. I'll just hit best lines down there. God, that I forgot his name already. His name is like Evan something down there in the minors. Is just killing it. I'm really excited to see him make the jump and possibly become a bottom six forward for us before Comtois or any of those guys. And we've already qualified for the playoffs, boys, and we've still got 3 weeks left in the season. Hopefully we can just keep getting these points and get us some more trophies for the Nashville Predators. All right, back-to-back losses though. We can't keep dropping games, and there's an overtime loss. So 3 straight losses there, boys. Not looking very good form headed into the playoffs. But Josh Jacobs has got a strained hamstring, and you know what? Let me just go ahead and hit best lines. Oh, man, that's right. I hit best lines, and now they got to change everything. It's okay. I don't really give a shit at this point. We have 97 points. We have a really good chance to finish with over 100 points again. Now, I don't know if this season is going to be a President's Trophy winning season. Let's go ahead and simulate these 2 games against Detroit and then against Minnesota. And we'll see how the season is looking for us and across the league. I really want to win 3 President's Trophies in a row, boys. That would be super cool if we could do that. I mean, I'm not too upset if we don't do it, but I'd love if we could just get as many points as possible. Okay, there's some points there. I don't think we're... Oh, shoot. I'm going to check the official standings. We got 100 points. 4 points are still on the table. I have to see... from what it's looking like, 100 points, we're probably not going to be the Stanley Cup... the President's Trophy winning team. The Columbus Blue Jackets, have played less than us. We are top 5 team in the league, though, boys. If we can win these next 2 games, we could put ourselves in very good contention for that kind of stuff, but it doesn't look like we're going to do a three-peat with the... President's Trophy, but I think we are going to three-peat as Central Division. Actually, I don't know how many times in a row we've won the Central Division, but it looks like we are going to win it yet again. If we can beat... we need 1 more point here. Come on, 1 more point. We can put it out of reach. Come on, boys. Get these 2 points against Dallas. Do not let... Yes, a 3-0 win. Hell yeah, boys. All right. So that's awesome. We've got 102, and I think that's all she wrote for the St. Louis Blues, who are super close to us. But it looks like we will be playing the Minnesota Wild in round number 1 because they... Oh, wait. Never mind. We are playing the Chicago Blackhawks because we were not the number 1 team in the West, but we had a very, very good season, boys. I'll take it. Chicago is a good team, though, and they do kind of scare me going up against them in round 1. They do have that star power, but, man, look at star power. Austin Matthews, 51 assists this season. Philip Forsberg had 35 goals for 69 points. Panarin as well was up there. PK Subban slowed down a little bit because I moved him down. And that second line, man, that first line really picked up the slack where the second line, who had a decent season, all 40 points. But then we got Perron down here, had a little bit of an off season, but he was playing on the 4th line for most of the season as a second line forward and did not complain about it. So I will certainly take that, and he's a great penalty killing specialist. Maxime Comtois at 11 points in 29 games. I will take that. I will certainly take that. He had more points than Mika Salomaki did. And Salomaki played 53 games, so Comtois does look like a pretty good player. Spacek had 30 points in 75 games. Yeah, so Sissons, I might just leave Comtois in there because I want to give him some ice time, and he's better than anything else I got, apparently. So Subban had a great season with Yossi and Ellis as well. Shabbat, Ekholm, Josh Jacobs was not really brought in for points, but just brought in to be a good, solid shutdown defenseman, and certainly did that. Now let's go ahead and check out goaltending, and 7 shutouts for Gibson this season, a .921 save percentage, and a .235 goal against average. So overall, a little bit of a down year for the Nashville Predators, but it's pretty amazing to say a down year when your team's been looking like this. We are set up well for the future, and John Tavares and Taylor Hall both tie with the most points in the league, but John Tavares had 46 goals. Tarasenko had 60 goals. Look at that. Austin Matthews is right behind Sidney Crosby. Nikita Kucherov above Alex DeBrincat. Okay. Oh, God, the Chicago Blackhawks just find talent anywhere. Good God. Yeah, so pretty good season for everybody. I mean, nobody really took off. Besides goals, I mean, Tarasenko just absolutely blew the league away with goals. Let's go ahead and check out defensemen now. A little bit of a down year for defensemen. No 70-point defenseman, but Carlson and Carlson both had 69 points. And then Jacob Larson with his 96 offensive awareness and 90 passing at age 24 gets another 60-plus. Jesus, this kid is tremendous. I only wish I would have gotten him maybe instead of Rickard Rakell at the beginning. Look at I'll say that's 4 straight 60-point seasons in the NHL. Good God. Although if I acquired him, he probably wouldn't grow. Because that's just what I do. And look at Subban, boys. Maybe if I would have given him the extra ice time. I mean, I wish they tracked ice time here, and you could see how much time on ice these players had. Yeah. They do track minutes. There you go. He played, okay, so 2,054 minutes, so he played about on par with everyone else. So we can't say that putting him on that second defensive pairing actually hurt him all that much, because I did hit best lines and I forgot to move him down, so that's also fair. But let's go ahead and check out who's going to take home the Vezina this season. A lot of good goaltending. It's looking like let me flip that around. Now that looks a little bit more nice. Carey Price, 2.08. Good God. Braden Holtby, Devin Dubnyk, Talbot, and Gibson, boys. Gibson, another top 5 performance, so giving away Pekka Rinne kind of hurt as as if you're a Predators fan, but you got to admit, it was a good move for the team. But there we go, boys. That is the end of the season here. We did not win the President's Trophy for 3 straight years, but I'm okay with that. I'm not too upset about that whatsoever. And let's go ahead and check out the playoff tree. What do we have rolling? So we've got St. Louis versus Dallas, us versus the Blackhawks. You got Canucks Kings and Ducks Wild. So those are a lot of good series. Those are a lot of good teams over there in the West. Out East, let's see what we got. We got Islanders Capitals. Islanders had a good season with their first line of Del Cal and Tavares. Penguins versus Blue Jackets, a good little bit of a rivalry there. We got the Florida Panthers versus the Montreal Canadiens, and the Ottawa Senators versus the Carolina Hurricanes. And look at that, boys. The Pittsburgh Penguins, last year's champions, still have a shot at repeating, because we've seen teams win the Stanley Cup and then not make it. But I think our continued success as a franchise is quite up there with one of the best teams I have ever built. Our prospects may not be turning out to what I'd hope they'd be, but, I mean, you can't ask for everything. This team is great. We've found great role players, some young guys that are stepping up. But there we go, boys. That is the end of this one. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see some more. Thanks for watching, and I will see you when we take on the Chicago Blackhawks in the next one.